The Trump administration has approved 7 applications for U.S. companies to sell nuclear power technology and assistance to Saudi Arabia, the Energy Department said Thursday. Energy Secretary Rick Perry told the Senate Armed Services Committee that the Energy Department has approved 37 nuclear applications since January 2017, including 9 in the Middle East. Besides the 7 to Saudi Arabia, 2 were to Jordan. This insane relationship between Trump's administration and Saudi Arabia has made Congress increasingly uneasy. Trump has made the kingdom a centerpiece, I'm sure all you guys know, of his foreign policy in the Middle East. He's been successful in further isolating Iran, which is the regional rival of Saudi Arabia. Trump's first trip as a president was to Saudi Arabia. Trump had no problem brushing off the Jamal Khashoggi murder, dismemberment of the Saudis' role in current genocide, their war on Yemen. Trump has no problem with these 2 things. The reports last week revealed that since November 2017, Perry has authorized so-called Part 810 approvals. That's what they're called, allowing U.S. companies, corporations, to share sensitive nuclear information with the kingdom. These 810 approvals were kept from the public and from Congress. Senators have since asked Perry to provide all needed information to Congress by April 10th, so 4 days and counting. They want all of the companies' names that got the 810 approvals, and they want to know why these companies asked that the 810 approvals be kept secret. Senators have also requested to know what was in these 810 approvals because these senators have no clue. While 810 approvals are routine, the Obama administration had made them available for public to read at the Energy Department headquarters online. Lawmakers say that the department is legally required to inform Congress about any approvals. The U.S. has been competing with South Korea, France, Russia, and China on a potential deal to help build reactors in Saudi Arabia. The kingdom is expected to announce the winning country later on this year. This contest, however, has been out in the open, unlike these 810 approvals that were done in the dark by members of the Trump administration. Also, France has this, if they're chosen, they will go in and build these reactors, show them how they work, and leave. They're not going to give them the technology to build it themselves. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle have been concerned about Saudi's bombing campaigns in Yemen, which is on the brink of famine. I'm sure you guys know over 75% of the entire country of Yemen is food insecure. They're on the brink of starving to death. I can't. And the killing and dismemberment, as I had mentioned, of the Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi, a U.S. resident and journalist at the Washington Post. I'm sure you guys know all about that story. These are who we're dealing with. Do we want them to have this technology? Congress finally began to grow weary last year after the kingdom's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman told CBS, and I'll quote, "Saudi Arabia does not want to acquire nuclear bombs, but without a doubt, if Iran develops a nuclear bomb, we will follow suit as soon as possible," end quote. Perry has said that the 810 approvals were kept from the public for corporate proprietary reasons. What? So I guess in Perry's mind, as in the minds of the leaders of these American corporations, corporate secrecy trumps public safety. Pun intended. Perry also said that if Saudi Arabia relies on China or Russia for building nuclear reactors, those 2 countries, quote, "don't give a tinker's damn about non-proliferation." I don't know what a tinker's damn is, but he's old and that's what he said. Though many non-proliferation experts dispute this notion completely, that a deal with China or Russia would be riskier, they just are not falling for it. They said that the United States has many other levels it can pull to influence nuclear behavior around the world. At another Senate hearing, the 5 members of the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, the NRC, including Chairman Christine Svinicki, sorry, it's a hard name, S-V-I-N, Svinicki, said, including Chairman Christine Svinicki, would not say whether the NRC raised any concerns over the 8 approvals in a required consultation with the Energy Department. Christine Svinicki said that the NRC's consulting role on the approvals is narrow and delegated to staff. Senator Chris Von Hollen, a Democrat who had asked the question of the NRC at the hearing, told Reuters in an interview that the commissioner's lack of knowledge about the 810 approvals was stunning. This is pretty fucking scary, guys, because we rely on these people. We rely on them to provide input about the process, about the approvals. Like, this is what their job is, and they knew nothing. They knew nothing about it. Not only they didn't know, not a single commissioner knew anything about what input they may or may not have provided. They know nothing. So if someone asked me to name a country, like right offhand, someone said, hey, if you could think of a country right off the top of your head that you would never want nuclear information going to, without a doubt, it would be Saudi fucking Arabia. So I just can't. I've had just laying in bed thinking, this is insanity. I don't care how much money they have. They bury women to hear and gather around with rocks and stone them to death. They behead people for wizardry, for witchcraft, for snuggling a husband and a wife that are engaged to be married. They're not married yet, but they give each other a hug. You can get lashes for that in the public square in Saudi Arabia. So now
this is a Sunni government, isn't it?
Well, yeah, by name, yeah.
Sunni? Okay. I'm just trying to make sure I know. Like, I know that, like, Sharia. Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, I wasn't using that as any kind of excuse. I was just clarifying.
No.
But yeah.
It's insanity.
It is.
I just don't even know what we could do or say. They obviously don't care about the laws. They don't care about they have to go through Congress. That's how this works. You set up 810 approvals, you get the paperwork done, you show it to Congress, they approve it. None of that has happened. They're just saying, sure, let's go. These corporations are doing this without any Congress involvement. So is it of and by the people, this government, or is it of and by the corporations?
That's a good question. My question is that like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, isn't that, why do I even try to talk, Christy, if I can't think of words? I like what to say. No, it's, like, I don't think they're necessarily being a traitor to our country, but, like, they're, like, our corporations shouldn't have, like, international dealings that have to do with another government's.
But they do.
Government. yeah, they do. And I get, like, we trade things to, like, countries all over the world. Like, I feel like we should be able to do that, and I want to be able to do that, honestly, because like, it's good for us, it's good for them. It's probably like a good way to practice capitalism, even. I guess is like suppose, buying and trading between countries, but a corporation selling weapons or any kind of nuclear power to a foreign.
This is the technology. This is the actual how-to. The technology And these are multinational corporations who reside in America, who call America their home, who call North America their home. But as we've seen since Citizens United, it's these corporations that are writing the policy that we follow, the laws we follow. 90% of the country can all agree to want something, but if these corporations don't want it, it will never get passed as a law. And this right here is where we go. This type of thing is where that heads. And so everybody's at danger. Somebody like Saudi Arabia, who is using starvation as a weapon. They bombed Yemen's waterways, their energy, their churches, their markets. So there's no food, there's no clean water, there's no medicine, there's no hospitals. They bomb. That's what they bomb. That's how they do it. That's who we're going to give technology for, that can eliminate an entire country with a push of a... I don't know. I can't think of anybody. I don't care what letters after your name. If you're a politician, how could you want this? And so now that they're coming out and seeing this, they don't want this. And that makes me feel better. That makes me feel a lot better that there are people on both sides of the aisle saying, no, hold on. That's not how this happens. You still have to follow the laws. You are not Congress yet. Congress needs to step up, get their balls back from these corporations, and say, I'm sorry, but you get a vote, just like that girl Christy in Tampa and Mac in Ohio. You get a vote like everyone else. So go sit back in your chair and let's do this right. It was refreshing to read that.